Hello and welcome to the Advice Nut, theadvicenut at live.com, theadvicenut at live.com. You can also contact me at theadvicenut.tripod.com. Let's get to our first email. I'm sure many of us have encountered people who just force negativity onto us and make us feel like utter crap. Well, my mother is one of these people in my life, and I just can't take it anymore. For the record, I'm 20 years old and currently living at home. Sorry if this is long, but I really need help. She is constantly bitter, sour, negative, in a bad mood 24/7. Every time I get excited about something in my life, she just shoots it down and reminds me of all the negative things. I try my hardest to please her, but she's always disappointed in me. Today I did 4 hours of housework before I went to work, then came home from work only to receive no thank you, but only a snide comment along the lines of, well, you should be doing stuff like this around the house. Why should I acknowledge it? Yesterday she woke me up at 6 in the morning to ask me to help her do some washing before she went to work. So I got up, still in my pajamas, helped her do the washing, and the whole time she just acted snarky and horrible towards me. I end up thinking it's my fault. Is it because I'm not doing it properly? Is it because she caught a glimpse of my tattoo while I was in my pajamas and is reminded of how disappointed she is in me? I constantly hang it on myself, and it just makes me feel terrible, and I can't handle it anymore. I've tried talking to her about it. I've asked her if there's anything wrong, anything bothering her. I've asked her if I've upset her in any way, or if there's anything else upsetting her. I've tried leaving her alone. I get no answers. Don't make any progress. I've tried everything, but she still continues to be a bitter, resentful, narky person. Every time I look at her, she has a sour look on her face. I can't stand it anymore. Her negativity just pours out onto me, and it makes me feel really depressed. I constantly feel like a failure because of her depressing emotions. I feel like it's my fault. In my younger days, she was an excellent mom. Although having a sometimes thorny personality, she's always provided me protection and advice. I look back on my life and remember how great she was to me and how lucky I am to have her as a parent. It makes me sad to see her turned into such a bitter person, and it cuts me up to think it could all be my fault. I just can't stand her negativity. I'm so exhausted from spending so much time helping her out with various things and constantly trying to please her. Should I just move on and get on with my own life instead of dwelling on her negative ways? You know, a mother-daughter relationship is really rough now. My mother and I are really close, but we have hit some rough patches. But now that I'm older, we pretty much know how to deal with each other now. But it sounds like your mom is unhappy about something. It could be because she's getting older. You've gotten older. You don't need her as much anymore. It could be a number of things. Yes, you do need to move on with your life. You cannot dwell on her negativity. And another thing that kind of helps me out in any situation is I don't look for praise from people. I praise myself. I don't look for praise from people because you just may not get it. It's nice. It's a plus if you do. But whether it's your mother or anybody, don't always look for people to appreciate you because everybody is not going to. But it sounds like your mother is unhappy, and just bear with her. And yeah, I do suggest you move out, but when you can afford to. But just focus on yourself. Don't focus on her negativity. A lot of times, if you don't even respond, they'll quit doing it. I do find that. And I know you love your mother. And the mere fact that she hasn't always been like this says that something's wrong deep within inside. But you say you've done everything. Sounds like you did everything you tried to do. You tried to talk to her, and nothing works. And so you're just going to have to focus on yourself. All right, good luck. Let's get to our next email. have a daughter that's a toddler, and she's a great kid. My husband and I agree that we just want to have only one child. We want to be able to afford certain things for her, such as college, music, sports, etc. And we feel that if we had a second child, we won't be able to afford any of that for either one. I know some friends and relatives that are single children, and they have told me that although they have felt lonely at times, they also felt that there were a lot of benefits from being a single child. Some friends have pressured me, saying that single children turn out weird, or they'll be selfish, or they won't have siblings to help out during rough times. But honestly, I feel that even though you have multiple children, each is an individual, and they may still be selfish or considered weird by some. And I know plenty of people that have been disappointed or let down by their siblings throughout their lives, so that it is also on an individual basis. It seems that I already made up my mind about it, but I would like to hear what others think outside of my family and friends. You know what? You and your husband need to do what's best for you two. Don't think about what's best for family and friends. It's about you, your husband, and what you two can deal with. And if you two sat down and discussed it, and that's your final decision, then that's your final decision. Only children may very well be selfish, but you have to teach them not to be as selfish. I mean, it's a natural that they're going to be selfish. They never had to really share with anybody. I mean, my son is the only child. Yeah, he's selfish to a certain degree, but sometimes being selfish isn't always bad. And if you just, excuse the expression, shitty selfish, then yeah, it's a problem. You know, but you need to do what's best. As far as weird children, I always say middle children are weird. I don't even consider an only child weird. I consider middle children weird. I come from a family of 5, and I believe middle children are weird. So you do what's best for you. That's The Advice Nut. The Advice Nut at live.com. The Advice Nut at live.com. You can also visit my website at theadvicenut.tripod.com. Until next time.